Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Called Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the works. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Right? We are living in the time of revelation, which means reveal, to be revealed. We're living in the time of the Lord revealing the truth of this world, truth of who people are nation-wise, truth of, the spirit of people, just the truth in itself. All right. And the reason why I'm bringing this out is because I saw a video of a witch that in times past we've seen around a lot of so-called black entertainers, right? And the video I saw was her complaining that she now has to hire security because people know her now. In times past, right, mainly before the exposure of this devil, these different individuals that operate behind the scenes stayed exactly there behind the scenes. So we would see people rise up through the ranks, whether it be through hip hop, rap, movies, television, but we wouldn't understand what made these individuals special. Well, what made these individuals special was the people that they knew. And the people that they knew were tapped in to the left hand of the Lord, whose working is after Satan, right? Because we're living in a world ruled by who? All right, Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? Right? So they link up with these wicked individuals that do these different weird ass rituals, right? And, basically just to see how far these individuals will give their spirit over to the devil, to Satan, to be successful in this world. The same way Hashatan tried to come at Ha'adawan, or the Lord, right? Yahweh Shai, right? When he fasted. All right, matter of fact, let me see. This Matthew chapter 4 and verse 1 says, Then was Yahweh Shai led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Right? That same old serpent, the same old devil, right? Of then is the same old devil of today. In the same way that devil tried to tempt Yahweh Shai, is the same way that devil tries to tempt the Lord's people today. Right? And a lot of the Lord's people take that deal. Right? And I'm about to read the deal. It says, verse 2, And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Right? But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of power. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of power, cast thyself down, for it is written. So the devil knows the word too, right? Babylonian Christianity. Hashatan know the word, right? El Diablo knows the word, right? It says, For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Yahweh said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy power. Right? Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Right? So this devil showed, Yahweh these different, kingdoms. Right? It says, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Right? So that's the contract. That's the deal. But what did Yahweh say? Then said Yahweh unto him, get thee hence, Hashatan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Right? But these jakes of the day, they take that deal, right? They like, hey, yeah, I want fame, I want the house, I want the chains, I want people to know me, right? And I want, the cars, and I want to go around the world and so forth and so on. And they worship Hashatan by doing so, not understanding that they really turning their back on the Lord. Because what did Yahweh say? Then said Yahweh unto him, get thee hence, Hashatan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Right? So these niggas is serving the damn devil. In my mind, I'm like, how can you serve the devil? First and foremost, you only find something concerning the devil, right, and his ways in the Bible. That means that God has to exist if there is a devil. If there is Satan, God has to exist. So you are choosing to ignore the creator of all things, Yahweh. And you are saying in your mind, I want this world and everything that comes with this world. All right? And it also says in the word of the Most High, let me see. Let me see. Matthew 16:26, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Right? So this witch that I'm about to show you in this video, and several others, because she ain't the only one, has taken the souls of so many of the Lord's people, right? Basically, capitalizing on our oppression, capitalizing on us being in the midst of these curses. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna let this video play. I'll be back.
The problem is that I have started having bodyguards because I had the opera Seven Days of Maria Callas in Carré Theater in Amsterdam, and I lived there for 30 years. I had to be bodyguard every single day to go to theater and back because there was announcement, the alarm that there will be people in the weapons in the theater when I'm there.
Because of the Alex Jones stuff?
All of this, yeah. Then when I was leaving the last day of performance, there was enormous beautiful made from fresh roses, the heart in the front of theater. And I was thinking this was for me, finishing the work. And they said, no, this is a protest for the children you just eat. Honestly, it's not fun at all. And I am just horrified by this. But this problem is that I have started having bodyguards.
All right. So she's been exposed really by her own people. So wherever it is she goes now, in times past, she can move and operate however it is she wanted to move. Nobody knew who the hell she was or what she did, what she was about. Even though I want to say she like an artist, like a painter. Well, not necessarily a painter. Esau do weird ass art. They call it abstract, but yeah, look like trash to me. But nevertheless, nobody knew who the hell she was. But now, people are, by this truth being presented to the world, not just by us, but by, all the, so-called conspiracy theorists and, the different, what would you call them, different reporters, or alternate news reporters that, dig up stories and present it to the world, right? They can't hide in them shadows no more, right? Which is also why they are moving, towards digitizing everything, right? To keep an eye on everybody, to see where everybody is, right? To check on everything at all times, right? So just to give you a heads up on who this person is, let me show you. All right. So
Daisy and Marina Abramovich in the same room. What's going on here? Ah, this sounds familiar. Oh yes, let me break it down for you. In 2013, Jay-Z dropped Picasso Baby, track where he basically compares himself to the art world's giants. Turned it into a 6 hours performance inside a New York gallery, rapping right in front of people's face. The whole thing was clearly inspired by the legendary performance of Marina Abramovich, The Artist is Present, where she sat in silence for over 700 hours at MoMA staring into people's eyes. Jay-Z took that concept and made it his own. And Marina was totally on it. But plot twist. Later on, Marina publicly said that she felt used by Jay-Z, claiming he never made the donation he promised to her institute. But Jay-Z calmly pulled out the bank receipt. Turns out Marina's team hadn't told her about the donation. A little drama never killed nobody. And honestly...
all right, you see? That's the weirdo that was dancing head to head with Jay-Z. All right, and let me see. All right, there she go with Usher. All right, so she's basically now what the hell she doing with these different rappers and singers? Yeah. So the exposure continues, right? As far as the Lord telling us that this devil would be exposed, his inner workings would be exposed to the world, right? So Marina Abramovic, I looked up and asked if she was one of the tiny tops, and this is what I found. So I asked AI, is Marina Abramovic Jewish? Says Marina Abramovic is not Jewish. Born in Belgrade, Yugoslavia in 1946, she was raised in a Montenegrin family with deep ties to the Serbian Orthodox Church, right? So, going into like, I guess you could say like, the Vatican-ish type deal. Like, my boy, John Wick, right? But it says particularly through her grandmother. Her parents were communist Yugoslav partisans, and she has described her upbringing as part of the Red, I guess they say Burgoyes. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I looked that word up, right? Red Burgoyes. This is what I found. Says the Red Burgoyes. Notice it says the Red, right? Burgoyes. I'm supposing that's how you pronounce that word. I could be wrong, but it says is a derogatory term for the privileged ruling class of bureaucrats, party functionaries, and managers that emerged in Soviet-style socialist or communist states. It represents a new class that gained high income, education, and social status, effectively creating a new inequality despite the abolition of private property. Her family, right, is connected to the elites, right, of the Soviet Union, right? In other words, AKA Esau Edom. And she's a part of that Esau Edom that's running this world. That's why you see her face with a Jay-Z and with a Usher and with other artists too. All right, because she's one of the insiders. She's a damn witch, right? So all this, the weird stuff that we see in, like Bohemian Grove-ish type deals, she's a part of, right? And that exposure is going to continue, right? Her and all of her family and all of her, associates that's attached to Job 9:24, the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, are being exposed. And that exposure is going to lead to destruction. All right? Let's see. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 3. It says, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Salah. I want to count. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Right? So, Salah one second. So, that exposure is going to continue until Shiloh come. And Shiloh coming, with peace for the elect of Yasharallah. But for everybody else, man, that's attached to the daughter of Babylon, which is America, because that's what Isaiah 47 is really speaking about, right? But, going into the elites, that's in this place, all right? Destruction is coming at the end of this exposure, right? So let the exposure continue. All right, so I am with that, man. Yahweh Shemel Sharatazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Holoyim La, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, Shalom, Yasha'Allah Wa, Abba Babal.